single people, which is never talked about, right? And so there's 4 categories. There's happily married, there's unhappily married, there's happily single, and there's unhappily single. What no one ever talks about is a large group of people who are happily single.
You hear he's saying people first, right? Pay attention.
Right? And what he found when he looked at those people is that they had a robust set of friends to hang out with. So while they were technically and legally single, they didn't feel lonely.
Yeah.
Right, we see this with a lot of women. They travel out the country together.
Yeah.
Did you hear him switch it up? We see this with a lot of women. They travel out the country together. Okay, let's get to it.
They have a prayer group in the morning. They're part of black girls who cycle. Right.
First it started with people, then it went to women, and now it went to black women. You see that?
They're in an entrepreneurship group, right? Yeah. They have a number of friends that have deep, intimate conversations that come over the house. So they're not lonely. Anytime they want companionship, they have it. Even if they want masculine energy, they know where to go to get attention from men and
Answer me this question. What does attention mean? What type of attention, sir? Christian psychologists. What type of attention are these women, these single women, happily single women, going to get attention from masculine guys from? What are we talking about here? Be specific.
Right one, they'll go on a date. They may not want to get married. It may not lead to marriage, but they get everything that they need, right? Mm-hmm. So they're not lonely. They live by themselves.
The message sounds familiar, right? Because I've said this multiple times, and I'm trying to educate you guys to stop trying to save every woman. Every woman, in particular, every black woman, don't want to get married. But they do need their needs met, or they need attention, like the good doctor says. So if they say that they're happily single, it's your job on the dating market to make sure they stay that way. Useful to the group. And this is a Christian psychologist saying this, okay? So if you got a problem with me calling you useful to the group, but it's a whole bunch of black women under the comments saying, I'm glad you explained this perfectly, doctor. Oh yeah, I'm glad too. So single men, make sure you enjoy these types of women as much as you can. And then when it's time for you to settle down or you figure out what you want to do, then you leave their asses alone. I was under the impression that the majority of black women wanted to get married. No, not at all. And if you think I'm lying, black women, go to Dr. Tart's page and see how many black women are saying, yeah, that's me. I'm glad you explained that. But he contradicted himself. You see how happy he made it seem that black women are if they're happily single? Let's hear what he has to say about black men who have negative thoughts about marriage.
Conversation with you. You know, we have a lot of videos about what women should do to find a husband, but we really should be looking at what men should be doing to find a wife. Now, why? On average, when you aggregate the data, married men are happier, healthier, and wealthier. Now, I'm not...
Don't worry. We're going to cover that.
I'm not saying if you're single that you're less than a married man. That's ridiculous. I'm simply saying that marriage really helps men with their health, their happiness, their joy, their wealth, and just this overall happiness, right? Overall, this life satisfaction. So think about it. As you get older as a man, you may not be the type that is pro-marriage, but you're certainly pro-relationship. But you're gonna not date. You're not gonna ever deal with women in your life. Let's be honest. And as you get older, you're gonna find yourself really suffering from loneliness, right?
So, why is it the message the same for men, in particular, black men? So they're gonna be lonely, right? They're gonna be lonely if they don't get married. But for black women, it's all sunshine and lollipops. They traveling and got church groups and entrepreneurs. Everything is perfectly fine for those women. Same guy, 2 different videos. Wonder why that is. Are you starting to understand, black women?
So we need to start focusing. If you're a single man and you're getting older, if you're a young man, you're watching this, if you think that married men don't marry for a reason, you're mistaken. We want to be happier. We want to have someone to do life with. We want a friend. As you get older, physical intimacy goes way down on the list, right? It's important, but it's not what keeps you. If you don't have companionship and connection, if you're a single man, you listen to all these whack videos about staying single and believing you're the prize, you're going to end up old and lonely. I don't want that to be you.
So if you're a single man who doesn't want marriage, you're going to end up old and lonely. So black women who you champion say that, hey, they are single and they're having a great time. They're not going to end up old and lonely. Only the men. And what message are you pushing, sir? Are you actually telling black men to get married, but you're simultaneously telling black women not to get married? Are you pushing black men into the arms of other women? Is that what you're doing? So what is the overall message for the black community? Black women, you play the field, you get ran through, you find that masculine energy, get your back blown out. But black men, you go settle down and find another woman to settle down with, because I got these black women occupied with just having weenie whenever they need it, or masculine energy when they, as he likes to say, attention to try and church it up instead of saying useful to the group. We get it now. Hopefully black women, you get it as well. In regards to his point about marriage being happier, you make more money, you're happier when you get married. That's not true for black men. It's not true in the black community. I want you guys to do your own research. From 2019, PubMed Central published this article. Being married increases life expectancy of white, but not black Americans. Results in the overall sample, individuals who were married at baseline had a lower risk of mortality during the 25 years of follow-up. They did this study over 1986 to 2011. Very thorough. Race altered the effect of marital status on life expectancy, including smaller protective effect for blacks relative to whites. Race-specific Cox regression models showed an association between marital status and life expectancy for white but not black Americans. Conclusion: in line with the MDR's theory, the health gain that follows marital status is diminished for black Americans compared to white Americans, only equalizing socioeconomic position across racial groups may not be adequate for eliminated racial/ethnic health inequalities. Policies should go beyond the SCP and reduce societal and structural barriers that disproportionately hinder blacks from translating their SCP indicators to desirable health outcomes. So when you hear people get on these, on social media and they try and say, black men need to get married, even though black men are married at a higher rate than black women. When you hear them with these messages, you have to counter that by saying, well, no, when black men get married, it's actually for real reasons, because it definitely don't benefit them in regards to their health, like y'all say it does. So black women, I want you to go back to his platform and ask him, what do you mean by masculine energy and attention from men? They're happy, they're getting their needs met, they live alone, they're gonna be great without men. But then you go back and you tell black men to get married, and you're gonna be lonely and you're gonna die alone if you don't get married. You're not gonna have a good time. Only black women, right? That's what you call pandering. And you guys don't even, it feels good to you because you in a position, because you single right now, you can't get a man to marry you. So you just went ahead and dove head first into this happily single mantra. And yes, you will get used on the dating market. Men will absolutely use your ass. And I trust black men to do the right thing, because you know what? Only 46% of black men have ever fathered children. So there goes that argument of having children out of wedlock, all these black men just running around Nick Cannon. And then the other point, black men use condoms the most. Did you know that as well? Yeah, that's true. And also another point, when it comes to the HIV statistics, homosexual black men are at the top, black women are second, heterosexual black men are third. I trust black men to do the right thing. So your ass gonna get used on the dating market properly, and you're gonna get passed around, and you're gonna listen to Dr. Tart, and you're gonna keep getting passed around until they done with you. And then these men gonna go off and find women to marry. Yeah, and you can thank Dr. Tart for that message. Don't get mad at me when I call you useful to the group, because he just churched it up and said attention. We all know what that means. You fucking got you. Y'all dumbasses, man. Y'all gotta watch dudes like this. You gotta watch guys like this. And like I said, you ain't got to like me. I got enough support here. I'm good. You like what he said, but you got a problem with what I said. Continue. Do what you need to do. Dumbasses. Shit makes no sense.